This is a 3-question gear review on the brand new and incredibly exciting Marley A-20 from Guild. This guitar is so cool. We got this the other day, and this is actually the second video that we're filming it. But at the time of filming this video, this guitar doesn't exist as far as the world is concerned. But we know about it, and we've gotten to check some things out about it. So the first thing is this really cool gig bag that this guitar comes with. This is recycled nylon. It's all branded with the Marley stuff. And inside, if you saw the first video on this guitar, if you saw the reactions and unboxing, you see there's a really cool booklet in here. It tells the whole story of this guitar, the A-20. The development of this guitar came from working with the Marley family and finding as many old pictures and the resources that proved that this guitar is the Guild A-20. Now, some people say that it was the A-9, but Guild has done a ton of work and they found that it is the actual A-20. So, with all of that said, here it is. This guitar is really cool. So this is a 3-question gear review, and if you're new to the channel, 3-question gear reviews ask 3 basic questions that help you find better guitars faster. What is good about a thing? What is bad about that thing? And if you're in the market, should you buy this thing? Now make sure you're subscribed. There's a button down below. That's an easy way for you to find better guitars faster and for this channel to be sent out to more people that are trying to find the right guitar for them. So the A-20 from Guild. This guitar is really cool. Now let's open with what is good about this guitar. This guitar is incredibly affordable, and it's made by probably the best acoustic guitar brand in the 2020s. So Guild is making this. This guitar is made in China. Now some people would put that into the what's bad about this guitar, but to get a guitar with this quality and these specs at this price point is really impressive. Now Guild is on top of cool import guitars made in China right now. This guitar is a solid spruce top. It is mahogany laminate back and sides. It's really pretty. This looks like Kaya, or you would call it African mahogany, or some people call it Sapele. It's really great. You can feel some of the texture through it. So it is laminate, but it doesn't look like it or feel like it, but that is one of the ways that this guitar is affordable for a normal player. Now also, it's just they want to be true to the actual Bob Marley legacy and the guitar that he played that is iconically him and his style. So moving down the neck, there is the very iconic Guild, very U-shaped neck heel. There's already a strap button on here. Now it does have, I don't know what you would call this joint, but there's a joint of wood here on the base of the neck, and then the rest of the neck, is there a scarf joint? There is. So there is a scarf joint down here. If you don't know what a scarf joint is, imagine, does this stress you out? So imagine this is one piece of wood, and the problem is this little kick up here on the headstock. So this is all one piece of wood, and what they do is they cut the end of this piece of wood off, and then they're able to cut a joint so that it comes off at the proper direction. So it's the same piece of wood. It is glued together, but the grain usually matches pretty well. This is a way to make sure that a guitar doesn't use too much wood and isn't wasteful in the construction process. We've talked about this a lot. There is a scarf joint on my Paget Model 1, a $4,000 guitar. This is a really ethical and good way to build a guitar. Now, the other things with this is it has open gear tuners from Guild. These are very cool tuners, and they are shockingly accurate to the originals. The shape of the buttons, especially when you get to the front of the headstock, to these bushings. Now, the thing with these bushings, if you've been around guitars and you've been around the details of them, I'll save that. I'll save that thought for what's bad about this guitar. Story hook. You're gonna be here. It is a solid spruce top. I mentioned that. It is rosewood bridge and fingerboard. Has Marley inlaid at the 12th fret. Very cool. It also has his logo up here on. Is that his logo? It's just an initial. It's the Marley designation. Very square headstock, and then it's the script logo. So this is kind of a 60s, 50s, 60s Guild logo. What's cool is the guitar that he has in the picture is actually a Madeira, which was an import of Guild at that time. But anyway, rounding out what's good about this guitar is incredibly playable, and it sounds really cool. At first, I was psyched out by the idea of this guitar being made in China. And I thought, you know, there's so much just like frivolous Bob Marley stuff that like he's been on t-shirts and posters, and every pothead you knew in high school was into Bob Marley. His message is really important, that music and beauty belong to normal people. And so that's why I love that this guitar came in at this price point. Let's shift gears into what I don't like about this guitar, or what could be bad about this guitar. So for me, the fact that this guitar is not all solid, that this guitar is not made in the US, that this guitar is not on the level of an M20 or what's the D20, the more of the all solid wood, you know, solid mahogany back and sides. That hit me for a little bit. I thought like, oh man, like I wish that they would have done this, but I wish that they would have done it at the level of those guitars. But Bob Marley didn't play those guitars. He played a guitar that was laminate back and sides, maybe a solid top, more than likely. It was a laminate top as well. This guitar, in so many ways, it's in the really good thing. Like, I'm torn. This guitar is exactly like a 70s import Japanese guitar with a couple tweaks that I really like. But for me, when I first saw this guitar, it does hit me as like, it looks like a very affordable guitar. And I just have to remind myself and keep those two things in mind. Like, that's what they were going for. They wanted this to be as accurate as they could. And what I love is he was a very working class Jamaican citizen, and he changed the world. And so you have to keep in mind like the quality of guitar that he would be able to buy, and he changed the world. To me, I wish that it was a gloss finish. It's a satin finish. I wish that it would be solid back and sides. I wish that the tuner bushings, I'll talk about the bushings now. The bushings are these very round bushings, and to me, that is always indicative of really affordable import tuners. And so that, it bothers the purist in me, but I am completely open to changing my mind on these things. And as soon as I played this guitar, it really did change my mind. And that arrives us at the pivotal question of, should you buy this? If you're in the market for a guitar, so let's talk about who is this guitar for, and then we'll tighten down that answer into should you buy it. So this guitar is for a player that cares about Bob Marley, that loves that kind of music, that warm reggae, a more dynamic, maybe jazz, maybe just warmer tones in playing. Now this guitar is, I mean, it's a solid Sitka spruce top, it's mahogany back and sides. This guitar could do many things. It's also X-braced. This guitar is pretty well suited to be a chameleon, but the person who's looking for this guitar is connected to the vibe and the message and the tone of Bob Marley. This guitar, I think, once these strings die down a bit, I think this guitar would nail, especially Redemption Song, more of the acoustic kinds of songs from Bob Marley. But this guitar is absolutely for a player. Now, also, because of the price point of this guitar is incredibly well suited for normal, regular, real players. With this and the gig bag, this guitar is priced at a place and has the features that you could take it anywhere you want to go. If you want to take it to music festivals, if you want to take it to jam sessions, if you want to play music with your friends, if you're in college, if you are anyone that is playing music and trying to fill the world with music, this guitar would do really well for you. Also, yeah, with the price point, $399. Now, there are some amazing things that happen when you spend that money with Guild. They've partnered with an organization called One Tree Planted. So for every one of these guitars that is made, they will plant a tree so that we are able to build more guitars in the future. Because if there's anything about Bob Marley's message, it is love is the answer, and that love causes good in the world. So when you spend money with this guitar, it will cause good in the world. There's no political statement with this. There's just the ethical and moral good that this thing is causing in the world. So I think, should you buy this guitar, I think for most people, this is such a cool guitar, and it's done such a good job at capturing Bob Marley's vibe, for better or worse. If you're a guitar purist like me, I would welcome rethinking some of these strong opinions about, like, well, it looks like an Epiphone, looks like an import guitar, looks like a cheap guitar. That's what they were going for. And what's cool, and this is why I love my Waterloo, is that's a guitar that was meant for normal people, and now they've thrown really good materials at it. So I would love to see the Marley family come back in a year or two and say, let's do this guitar, but let's do it with a gloss finish, and let's do it with solid back and sides. Let's do this guitar. What is the best that Bob Marley could have played? So anyway, I'm very excited about this guitar. There will be links in the description down below for these. Now, those are affiliate links, and if you use those links, I will get a small commission. It's a painless way for you to support this channel and the work of this channel. There will also be links for the microphones and the cables and the interface and all of the stuff behind the scenes on how we make these videos. But this is the Bob Marley Guild A-20. Very cool guitar. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you later.